Okay, today we're going to go over a little bit of a review of some angle terminology that we did in the beginning of the year. You might want to take out a piece of loose leaf paper if you chose not to print out the notes. And we are going to go through this. If we look, quick review here, I have angle A and angle B. They're equal because they are vertical angles. If I could spell, that would be great. Those are vertical. For the second picture with the 30 and the 60, because there's a little box here, that means that they have to add up to 90 degrees, and these are called complementary. And if we look at these two, because they make a straight line, these are called supplementary angles. Sometimes they're also called a linear pair, because it's a pair of angles that make a line. Quick review. We have lines, segments, rays, and points. A line is usually notated with 2 letters, and then there's a line symbol written over it. Sometimes it could be one lowercase letter, and then usually it will say line N or line L. A line segment stops. So if we look at the notation here, there are no arrows on the top of CD. A ray starts at one point and goes in the direction of a second point or a second letter. This is wrong. This should say ray EF. And a point is just a dot, and it usually has a capital letter. So an angle, don't forget, is formed by 2 rays which share the same endpoint. It says, what is the name of the point where the rays intersect? This red point here, hopefully you remember, that is called the vertex of an angle. That is also like the hinge point of an angle. If we look at number 1, again, quick review. It says name the angle in 2 different ways. We can call this angle A, B, C because we trace from A to B to C. We can also call this angle C, B, A because we can trace in the opposite direction from C to B to A. Technically, because there's only one angle in this picture, we can also call it angle B. And if you're a little lazier, you can put a little 1 there, and we can call that angle 1. Okay, if we look at this question, it says D is a point on the interior of angle ABC. Maybe we want to highlight from A to B to C. And it says the measure of angle ABD is 25. So from A to B to D, trace that with your pen. That's 25. It says in the measure of angle DBC is 90. And we kind of knew that because there's a box there. It says find the measure of angle ABC. To find the measure of angle ABC, which is from here to here to here, all we're going to do here is add 90 plus 25. And 115, that's how many degrees are in angle ABC. Part B says name an acute angle. Think a cute little angle that is less than 90 degrees. So in this case, it would be angle ABD. Part C says name a right angle. That would be angle DBC, or we could call it angle CBD. B has to be in the middle. An obtuse angle, that's more than 90. So the only angle in that picture that is more than 90 is angle ABC, or we could call it the opposite, angle CBA. Don't forget that 2 angles are complementary if the sum of their angles is 90. 2 angles are supplementary if the sum of their angles is 180. Again, these are sometimes called a linear pair because they make a straight line. Vertical angles are angles that are created by intersecting lines opposite each other. They are congruent. So if I look at this, if I tell you angle 1 is 50, that means angle 3 is also 50 because they have to be equal to each other. If I wanted to find the rest of the angles in this picture, angle 2 would have to be 130 because angle 1 plus angle 2 make a straight line. And if 2 is 130, that means angle 4 also has to be 130. Now, sometimes with algebra, we want to solve for x and then find the measure of each angle. If we look at number 1, these 2 angles form a straight line. So that tells me that they are supplementary. So I'm going to write 5x minus 30 plus x plus 90 equals 180. I'm going to combine like terms. 5x, plus 1 more x is 6x. Negative 30 plus 90 is 60. That equals 180. If I subtract 60 from both sides, I get 6x equals 120. If I divide by 6, I get that x equals 20. If I go back and read the question, it says find the measure of each angle. So 5 times 20, if I plug 20 in, that's 100 minus 30. That gives me 70. And here, 90 plus 20 is 110. I can check my math because 70 plus 110 does give me 180. If I look at the second example, it says AB is perpendicular to BC. That there is the symbol for perpendicular. And perpendicular means right angle. So technically we could put a little box there. So now we know that those two angles have to add up to 90 degrees. So x plus 20 plus 2x plus 10 equals 90. If I combine like terms, 2x plus x is 3x. 20 plus 10 is 30 equals 90. If I subtract 30 from both sides, I get 3x equals 60. Again, if I divide by 3, I get x equals 20. If I want to find the measure of each angle, this one is 20 plus 20, so that angle up there is 40. And this one is 2 times 20 plus 10, so that gives me 50 degrees. Number 3 is an example of vertical angles because we have an x and we have the top and the bottom. Those angles are equal or congruent, so x plus 40 equals 3x minus 20. If I move my x's to one side, I get 40 equals 2x minus 20. I'm then going to move my numbers to the opposite side, so I get 60 equals 2x. If I divide, I get that x is equal to 30. If I wanted to find my angle here, 30 plus 40, this top angle is 70. I can check my math. 3 times 30 is 90 minus 20. That also gives me 70. If I wanted to find the other angles in this picture, technically that's a straight line. So these two together have to add up to 180. So 180 minus 70 leaves me with 110, which means that also has to be 110. And if I look at number 4, similar to 3, first thing I'm going to notice is this right here. I have like an X, and I kind of have a left and a right side. So I can start by saying 3x plus 20 equals 6x minus 4. These are kind of puzzle problems. I'm going to move my x's to one side. I'm going to move my numbers to the opposite side. I'm going to solve, and I get that x is 8. Now, if I plug x into the original, 3 times 8 is 24, plus 20, that means that is 44. I can check on this one here. 6 times 8 is 48, minus 4 is also 44. If I'm looking for the rest of the angles, it becomes a little bit of a puzzle. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to cheat. This box here tells me that that's a right angle, so that has to be 90. Now, if I have a straight line here, that means these 3 angles have to add up to 180. So if I do 180 minus 90 minus 44, I get 46 for this side, for that missing angle. That goes there. And then the last thing, if I want to find angle C here, if I, again, focus on the fact that I have an X here, angle C is the same as angle B plus angle A. So 90 plus 46 is 136 for angle C. And the last one, if I tell you to find all of the missing angles, again, first thing, look at the picture. It's kind of a puzzle. Most of you will probably pick that B is 90 right off the bat. If I look at my picture carefully, I can see that I have an X here. So that means that this is 54 because this and this are vertical. If I look at the top 3 angles from here to here to here, that makes a straight line. So if I do 180 minus 90 minus 54, I get 36. So that angle is 36. And once again, if I focus on the fact that this picture has some vertical angles in it, and I highlight the X, this angle here has to be the same as these two here. So angle D is 90 plus 36, or 126. Please make sure that you write down any questions that you may have, and be sure to ask me next time you see me in class or email me.